Welcome, Tatyana. Thank you for giving me the time to have this podcast with you. How are you doing?
Hi, Imran. Thank you for inviting me. Big pleasure and big honor to be here. Thank you for having me. I'm doing great. Thank you so much. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. As we were just having a discussion, just a brief one, and I was like, I have to record it. What I
Mhm.
was saying was about, post-COVID, what's good, that you can work at home. I love working at office, but you had some good points. I want you to elaborate the points. I was talking about you can do podcasts, you can do other things, but you had some really good points on that.
Mm. Well, I think a remote job it's a good opportunity to save time and actually to work with overseas talents, and actually it just increase the speed of communication and collaboration. Well, hybrid version is also good.
Yeah.
I agree with that. So it depends on the field you work on.
Yeah. So before we dive in, there's a lot of stuff for us to unpack in this podcast. Um, and just for people who will listen to this or watch it on YouTube, for some reason I'm seeing more specs on YouTube, which is kind of nice. But this one is really helpful for those who are um looking for a job, if that's fair, understanding O1 visa, understanding how even HR works. Tatyana here has had a lot of people, hundreds of people in her life, and I think she has a lot of take. I have some hot takes I would love for her to share, or if not that, at least what's going on with the current market, but also talk about Kite or KitSF and Ukraine challenges, as we know. But before we go a little bit, in your own words, Tatyana, tell us a little bit about your background and what you've been doing currently.
Yeah, sure, with the pleasure. So my name is Tatyana or Tanya. Um, I'm a general partner at KitSF, a venture studio focused on human-centric ventures. We are based in San Francisco. I'm actually residing in San Francisco, California. Well, I'm a proud founder of three companies, and I'm entrepreneur with more than 13 years of experience. My first company I founded in Ukraine. It's called Trinity Education Group. Two other companies are in San Francisco. UATG, it's a nonprofit organization, and KitSF, a venture studio, which is I'm fully involved in developing and growing KitSF and our team. So, yeah, right. My story begins in Ukraine, where I lived until I was 37 years old before moving to the United States on a O1 visa. This is the visa for individuals of extraordinary ability, as recognized by the United States Department of Homeland Security. Well,
I,
so mhm.
I have to ask. So, and I know we didn't talk about this, but I did know. So when you moved in, or maybe I will take it as a separate one when you came here, because I'm really much interested. I know a few people personally and who are also hitting me up. I should be doing some podcasts for this one, which
Mhm.
is when you move to United States, you don't have, like I was fortunate enough to come here at a very different age, but there are people who also like post-war came and all that. So before I tap into that, um, I have to ask, how was that experience when you came like in United States at a different age, not that age isn't matters, but I can't
Oh,
change my career, right? Like,
I think age of like the age when you relocate is
yeah,
has impact. I mean, it definitely it depends on the age. So the earlier you move, the better
yeah,
for you.
yeah,
Just in terms of language, like in English language, I cannot speak American accent, so it's something that I cannot take
you're
it.
Your English is pretty good, FYI. I'll be very honest. And I'm not being nice, I'm being very honest. But now let's unwrap you. So you gave me a lot about your background. Let's talk about Trinity Group, or the UATEG.
Mhm.
What is it? What's the purpose behind it? If you can dive a bit more.
Well, Trinity Education Group, it's a Ukrainian company. It's still working. It has 25 employees and more than 22,000 clients. So it's like premier language school in Ukraine, which mission is to prepare individuals for international exams and help them enroll into top universities. And also we work with Ukrainian and international companies and collaborate with USAID and Red Cross. I personally
Wow.
worked with Anti-Monopoly Committee and received several grants. Well, about UATG, it's a non-profit US San Francisco-based nonprofit, 501c3, which mission is to help Ukrainian veterans and their kids to start new career through learning English. English is not a common practice in Ukraine, but it's
Yeah.
getting better. And with English knowledge, people have more opportunities, like job opportunities, like working remote, working for the US companies or for any company in the world.
Hmm. So when you said the exams, just want to clarify, are we talking about IELTS, TOEFL, SATs, GMAT, or are we talking about different kind of exams? Because those are the ones which are required when you come to the US, right?
Oh,
For
right.
universities, sorry.
Right. These are all kind of Cambridge exams, like
Yeah,
AFC, ECP. IELTS is also a Cambridge exam. Universities in the United States require TOEFL, essay, like GMAT, like for MBA program or something,
yeah,
GE. Well, and we also assist in preparation for other, like there are lots of them.
interesting. And by the way, is my camera lagging? Just hold on. Never happens, but now it's good. So you talked about Cambridge. So I did Cambridge education, Tatiana, back home in Pakistan. That's what we do. We do OA levels and then advanced levels. Is it through the same thing, or it's like certain Cambridge education that you provide? The reason I'm asking is like whoever listens to this, that if UATEG helps, they can reach out easily.
Well, when we are talking about Cambridge exams, it
Yeah.
means that these are language exams. It's like a
Okay.
language testing system to evaluate the level of English. And
Got it.
actually, exams are really challenging. It's so difficult to pass them. Actually, we also assist educators, like professional English teachers, in
Mhm.
past in taking like in preparation for these exams as well.
Got
So
it.
it's not like a Cambridge education, it's the English language testing system.
Got it. So if anybody who's looking to, let's say, go to UK for further studies from Ukraine or come to the United States, language is one of the key things. So they will go through UATEG to give IELTS, or you guys will help with that. Is that fair?
I mean, it's more about the requirements of the university. If the
Got
university
it.
requires such an exam, like an admission exam, so
Yes.
here you go, you have to pass this exam and provide them with the fresh certificate. Um,
Nice.
but if you want to move somewhere, it's not necessary to take these exams at all.
Yeah. No, no, no. That's fair. And so, just to a little bit dive into with this. So it's been 2 years for the war in Ukraine, right? And so, not. I hope it gets over really fast.
Um,
Those who are outside of United States, the Ukrainians who got displaced, they went to Poland, they went to, other parts of they came to US. Are those people also eligible to work with UAT, or they have to be within Ukraine? Is there certain criteria for that or anything?
Well, in order to work abroad, any person has to have a work permit. It's so-called like work permit. In every country, it has this special name.
No, sorry. What I meant is like when they go through rally, so let's say they just moved, they got displaced and
Mhm.
they're in US and they want to do something, maybe there's something required, how UATEG can help those who got displaced for because of the war.
Well, we do not work with displaced Ukrainians
Mm.
because our mission and expertise in UATG and Trinity lies in helping them to learn English.
Got it.
But at KitSF, we help foreign talents to secure their jobs in the San Francisco Bay Area. And our ideal client profile to invest in
Mhm.
is a technical talent like software engineer, data scientist, or machine learning engineer.
Got it.
Just to clarify, I'm fully focused and in 24/7 involved in KitSF, in building KitSF. The ongoing war in Ukraine helped me to understand that Ukrainian business is not promising anymore.
Yeah.
Because the war, we don't know when it will end. Because there is no, I mean, I hope for better, but well, unfortunately, it's a big tragedy for our nation, for our country.
Yeah.
But I don't know where the end is. That's why I obtained the talent visa in the US.
Mhm.
I have a US work permit, and I co-founded KitSF, and I focused on foreign talents, helping them secure a job, and I fully involved in that. And
So
again, yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
so let's focus on it because I think the Kid SF part will be really leveraging and helpful, and we want to invest more time in talking about this, right? So, um, you were talking Kid SF helps them invest in talent. Let's walk me through like what does it do? Just so someone listens, right? Like if they, what kind of technical skills are we talking? Are we talking about software engineering, as you mentioned, or we can also talk about design, product designers as well, because it's also like a hard skill
Mhm.
versus being a product manager is like a people skill, I would say. Yeah, like if you can walk me through the purpose of KTSF, which you did mention,
Mhm.
objective, who did you help, or like how does it work?
Well, in simple words, in simple English, we invest in people. So our mission is to invest in talents, helping them to realize the opportunities, job opportunities available in the United States. Um, and for most people who are foreigners, we work actually with India. So people are not aware of the opportunities. They have like narrow horizons, but the world is so big and there are so many opportunities. And actually, moving somewhere, it's like a new life. And these people, these talents we work with, they have they have excellent hard skills, and they can bargain on that. This is a big value for them because while you are moving to other country, you face other culture, language barrier, and different and other different difficulties. But with these hard skills, they perform well, and actually we open them these opportunities and assist them in finding a new lease of life, new job. And actually, this job is well paid because we work with talents who get a salary here. They can get a salary in the United States, in the San Francisco Bay Area, from $250,000 and up to $500,000.
And
So
so,
they're quite well paid.
so following up on that, so what do you help them with? So you said you talent, so let's go a bit deeper. So let's say you have a software engineer based in India. They have good experience there, X 5, 7 years, let's say, but they're like, hey, I want to come here. Um, if you can walk through from that perspective. So how does that work? How does KitSF help landing the job and then, all the way through?
Well, first of all, when I work with these talented guys, my first step is to identify their motivation, because motivation is a key to success. The process is so challenging that most people quit on the halfway to success. Well, you're absolutely right. These geniuses have PhD, they have patents, they have more than 10 years of experience and great hard skills, like many years of experience. We assist them in this process of finding a well-paid job in the San Francisco Bay Area. So it's kind of coaching, being an assistant, being a mentor, because even the strongest people can quit because of the stress, because of the difficulties and any obstacles.
You are right. Like when the rubber hits the road, it does really become stressful, especially for these candidates who don't have the working permit, and they're competing not only with that, they're also competing on there are many ways. So one is permit. That's like why would a company should go after you? So you have to have really good talent. What is that talent? So it's a lot of ways, like it becomes very hard, fast rule. So how does then KitSF, like what's the revenue model then for KitSF? Is it seems like it's aligned with the talent. So talent gets a job. How does it work for KitSF? How do you guys make money? Was it that process?
Well, the whole process is like free of charge, but when the candidate succeeds, we take a portion of their income. And you said right that the competition is high in the United States. It's very competitive country, and job market is too competitive, especially in the era of AI, generative AI. So now it's even harder to find a job. So we assist them to understand what is going on here, to face not face but to cope with culture differences and to develop soft skills, because actually during the job interview, job interviewer checks soft skills as well, and many people do not know how to deal with that.
Yeah,
So
that's true. Like it's especially and that's a separate question I want to ask, but I'm not done yet about KitSF. But I want to ask your take on the current job market. But before we do that, so you start KitSF and how long has it been? You did mention how long has it been for KitSF?
well, it's been for 2 years. Yeah,
Nice.
one year we spent on finding a product market fit.
Yeah.
It was the challenges part of my way here. Uh, it's very exhausting. I experienced so many burnout out. Uh, well, we tested like million ideas, and then we just, we found out. We found it. Now we growing.
So what's the one last question? What's the vision for this? Like when you think about it, could be, as a company, you have a vision, maybe from social impact perspective, because I think this has high social impact as well, what you're doing with KidSF. So what's the vision with that?
I love helping people, and I think that many people have a glass ceiling, so we help assist them in breaking that. The first reason, like the most common reason uh, of people why they want to move to the US, it's working with interesting projects. It's not it's not a salary or quality of life. Working with something impactful, do something like valuable. And the other reason is, I think that it's kind of developing the United States economics as well, because these people are tech genius, tech talents. They bring lots of value to American companies like Google, Amazon, and all companies from Mang, like Meta, Amazon, Apple, and all these companies. And these talents pay a significant amount of taxes, so they enrich the American economy with taxes as well.
Sorry, yes, you're absolutely right. Like, I think not only that, I think one thing you're also doing, you're promoting a lot of diversity as well. You're bringing talent first approach, enabling those who are really good, no matter where you're from, you just help them get to the next level, boom the economy. Actually, I kind of like what KitSF is doing. So moving now to the burning question that I want to ask. You have been in HR, right? If I got this right, you've hired more than 500 people, or like you've hired like hundreds of people. I don't want to even give it a number. Um, can you address and talk about like what are some, I would say, uh, what does really attracts or retains the top talent?
Retains in the company, or
Yeah. So let's say someone like Amazon or Nvidia, right?
Mhm.
Now they're like, hey, our talk is doing good. We want to hire everybody. How are they able to attract and retain, like not even someone like Nvidia, could be a startup. What are some key strategies that you would recommend?
To make a world a better place. I mean, people want to be valuable, and um, everybody wants to be needed. That I think this is the key. But there are several other reasons. Of course, the amount of money, like the salary ranges, the team, location. Actually, this is one of the pivotal reasons. Living in San Francisco is really nice because of the community, the culture, the diversity here, safety, I would say as well. Um, I checked recently. I checked LinkedIn, and I saw that average tenure, like the amount of years that person works for one company, ranges from 1 year and up to 2 years. I checked such a company like Walmart. Everybody knows Walmart. So the average tenure is, if I'm not mistaken, 10 or 15 years. So probably they do something special. Probably this company is for people who love stability. In software companies, well, it's quick pace. There is a quick pace development, and probably they are seeking for new talents, new blood. Well, actually, this is again depends on the field and location.
This is actually true. Like someone like Walmart, they have a higher tenure.
Oh,
And when you look at like Meta or any other, those kind of has like, fast M7 companies, Tesla, there's like 2, 3, 4 years and you're done. They either like vest their stocks and they're like, okay, I'm done, or it's like, I'm getting bored. I know personally, one of my friend, he's like, oh, I'm getting bored, so I'm gonna leave this company. And it's, I'm not gonna mention the company, but I've seen that. So you're absolutely right in that case. And so when you look at the current market of how it's going, Sony
mhm,
announced layoff. I know it was not planned for competition, but Sony announced 900 or something like that layoff.
mhm.
Apple shutting down its car initiative. That's a different story, but there will be some layoff over there. They probably move some team to the air division and layoff. Then we also had one more company today also did layoff. Yeah, Bumble, a layoff. And so far this year is at least seven, eight. And I can't. I will stop keeping count. It's thousands of people have been unemployed. What is your take on what's happening And what do you see in terms of in the few months, let's say March, April, May, or yeah, what do you see what's going to happen in that space of hiring?
Oh, well, I think that well, in the era of AI, of course, we experience some changes. And for junior specialists, it's becoming harder and harder to find a job. So they have to go through the hell in order to find something. But for highly skilled professionals, everything remains the same, though the competition is um, high still. I think personally, I think that highly skilled professionals will be in demand always. Some companies have multiple stage, not some, but many companies have multiple stages interview process, and I fully agree with that because it's a policy to hire slowly and to lay off quick. As a founder, I understand this policy. And actually, despite all the buzz about all these concerns about layoffs, the unemployment rate in the United States is the lowest for the past 20 years. So people are not suffering much. My friend, one of my friends, was laid off and he lives the same life. I mean, he's not suffering at all. He told me that he would um, rest some time for a couple of years and then we'll probably find something. So, uh, well, again, I don't think any suffering or problems on the market.
Yeah, that's an interesting take. That I think what's happening is like these layoff news are spiking up. And then if you look from macro perspective, you are right. The unemployment rate is low. So there's this thing, right? There are a lot of companies that do see are hiring. Companies are now hiring the right way. I'm just repeating what you're saying, basically. So I'm agreeing. I think that's what we are seeing. I think also those who are getting impacted, then it comes down to individuals, right? Like there's so many different individuals, different financial aspects of their what they have. I think that's a separate topic I don't want to touch, but as overall, I do agree. Probably things might pick up uh, following March. Hopefully the Feds reduce the rates or keep the same. Now, the biggest topic, the last topic for us that we have is the O1 visa. Um, you have that, right? If that's correct.
I got it twice, so I'm
Wow.
double O1 visa holder. Mhm.
So share everything as much as you can about that experience of the O1 visa process. What's the benefit? How do you get one? How do you apply for one?
Mhm. Sorry. So the O1 visa process is very challenging, but achievable. That's what I when I share some experience with my friends, I tell them that it's possible. It's really challenging, but it's possible. It's it lies with hard work and persistence. So the O1 visa case requires building a strong profile and demonstrating extraordinary abilities through public engagements, publications, impact, recognitions, awards, and high salary as well. So I would say that anyone can consider to go through this process, but this requires lots of self-motivation and determination.
So
Yeah.
one key question. So when you say the publication, let's say if there's someone who is a researcher, right? They have hundreds of publications and research papers that have been
Mm,
recognized by, Springer, all those the nice well-known name. Let's say they're also acknowledged by some another big university as well. Um, the salary part, is it the salary part looked at in their local economy, or is it looked at in US dollars? Like I'm trying to understand that aspect, right? Like
It's in local economy, yes, because the O1 visa requires achievements and contributions on national level. So you have to be um, extraordinary in your own country and come to the US as a person with extraordinary ability from your own company.
so how long does that, like, let's say someone got the O1 visa, and I don't want to go too much in the process because I think they can read it. You already told a lot of work, so
Yeah, it's open
right.
information. Everybody can look through and explore on the internet. Lots of YouTube bloggers are talking about that. Lots of information, articles. Mhm.
So so like someone gets the O1 visa stamp. What do they get? Do they get X number of years to stay? Does it comes with employment authorization? What does it comes with? Like what do you get eventually?
With the O1 visa approval, it's not necessary to get a stamp, uh, but yeah, you can do it, of course. But so it's it's a US work authorization.
Wow.
So so
And
it
how long does it last?
um is given for 3 years,
Okay.
uh, and it's easy to extend for one extra year, and there is no limit for extension. So the candidate can extend it every year.
So if it's okay, like can you explain how did you stand out? So like those who listen, like what did you do that helped you get the open visa? How much time did you don't have to go too much in details because I know it could be like a lot. But like if you can like just summarize a little bit about that.
Well, I showed at the right angle my achievements and my contribution into Ukrainian economy. As a founder, I had 22,000 students and more than 50 companies worked with me. So I just collected recommendation letters, explained and described the impact that I made. Also, I'm a co-author of 3 books. These are guides for students how to prepare for international exams, IELTS, TOEFL, and behavioral interview. And I have several publications as well on international and Ukrainian media. So I packed it well, described it precisely, and also added all the proofs. So my case looked like, the pile, like 500 sheets of paper. It looks like this. Well, and actually I got approval without request for additional evidence. So it was a success.
Wow, that's amazing. And yeah, I think people should apply for it if that's worth if they've done something really great. I think this is really helpful. I actually didn't know about this. I actually learned it from you. I came here through family.
Mhm.
So that's my process, very standard like everyone. But coming through O1 is, I think, a really great I personally would, if I would have come through O1, I would have felt like, done something good, you know. So I didn't know about this one. This is super nice. On that end, I just wanna spend a little bit time because we are in time bound now. So any advice, because you have been a founder, right? You are building businesses, you're helping people. Like, gosh, talking to you is like, personally for me, I'm like now motivated. I need to do more. So thanks for that. And what advice would you give specifically like to women who are, going this entrepreneurial journey? Doesn't matter, doesn't has to be in tech, could be in any space. Um, you could probably share your experience as well, but like any advice for them?
Well, being an entrepreneur, it's a absolutely different way of life. So be prepared to work hard, no vacation, no weekends. It's really tough. For women, it's harder, of course, because of the family reasons, raising kids. However, people get freedom. Being a founder, an entrepreneur, it's a new kind of freedom. Well, I think that finding a right co-founder, the right person to work with, is a key to success. It can be the spouse or your friend or just the right person. Some people say, like my friend said that finding a co-founder is like finding a wife or a husband because you will be working with this person next years together. I had an experience working with co-founder. It was good at the beginning, then we split it, and now I have a co-founder as well. Um, Having a co-founder gives such an advantage that it's like a person you want to talk, you may talk to and discuss everything together, and actually that predicts and prevents the burnout. The second advice is well, be prepared for the marathon. It's like running 40 miles or 40 kilometers. It's not a sprint. You won't succeed in a month or even in a year. It's a long story and it's painful. And third one, that the thought that I know, I mean, so no pain, no gain. So if you feel comfortable right now, you are not growing. So if you're crying every day, if you feel pain, if you explore something new and it makes you uncomfortable, congratulations, you are on a right way.
No, this is good. And one more thing I would love to say is like consistency. I think you have been consistently doing something, and either it's through KitSF or UATEG locally in Ukraine, but you have been doing, and consistency is paying off, right? Um,
Absolutely. And I have a big plan for the future. I mean, I'm 40 years old, but I think that my life just has started. I'm
nice.
in the United States. I'm growing the company. I want to grow it till like multi-million, maybe billion, who knows?
Yeah.
And I want to conquer the biggest market ever, and I'm very passionate about that. And I'm ready to work 24 hours, maybe
This
20 hours
is
a day.
This is motivating, Tatyana. I'm gonna be very real with you. This is motivating. I don't often see people who are really, like, you know what, I don't care what comes my way. Doesn't matter what time, age, location, or anything, I'm gonna do it. So I think those who listen to this, here's an example. She's doing it and she's gonna do it because I know I have sisters as well. She's one of them is trying to do something and she's like, oh my God, so much work. And I can be like, hey, what's your excuse, right? I understand, but if she's figuring it out, so you can. But no, on that note, thank you, Tatyana, for your
Yeah,
time.
thank you so
Um,
much, Imran.
yeah.